Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Q&A Sunday. I'm Rich Dallas with Berkshire Hathaway, the Dallas-Fincham team. And on today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about what came up in a buyer consultation I was doing this week. And that is DOM versus BOM. What do those terms mean? Price per square foot, is that how we calculate the value of a home here in our market? And how do you do comps or run comparable properties so I know I'm not overpaying or under listing my house when I'm going to market? All right, let's jump right in. DOM versus BOM. So DOM, if you see that on the MLS, that means days on market. So in the post-COVID era that we're in, days on market has been drastically less than prior to. So right now, if you're seeing a house and it's been on the market for 60, 90, 120 days, that is I'm not going to say red flag, but it does you would want to reach out to your agent and find out why hasn't that house sold when everything else has been, in the under 30 days in this post-COVID era. That's the average on all of Pittsburgh right now, is just under 30 days for days on market. So if it's been on the market longer than 30 days, I would have a conversation with your agent to find out why. Most likely it's either condition or price of the house that you're looking at. So, and then BOM, so if you have a search set up in the MLS and you see something come up and it says BOM, that means back on market. So that means that the house was under agreement at one point and the deal fell apart. That does not mean that there's something wrong with the house. It does not mean that it fell apart because of home inspections. It just means that the deal fell apart. It could have been the buyer's financing. That's a very common reason why a house would come back on the market. Price per square foot. That is another topic that we get asked a lot. And the only people that really price per square foot here in the Pittsburgh market is builders. A lot of builders will compare their price per square foot to one another. And that's, again, it's a metrics that we don't measure because here in Pennsylvania, we are not allowed to quote you square footage, because if we misquote you square footage, then you can sue our company for misleading you. So we don't really price things out per square foot, but if you want to know how to calculate that, reach out to me and I can get into detail with that. Just because of my own personal experience of going through the building process a number of times with clients and for myself, I have calculated, I know exactly who's building what for what square footage and what price. I can give you a lot of insight on that, especially right now going through the process. So, but if you are calculating price per square foot, basically all you're doing is adding up the square footage, dividing it, and that's your price per square foot. So that is a real brief description of price per square foot. Again, that's not a metrics that we typically use to price houses here. That's where we come into question number 3, because basically those two questions came up from the same person. They said, how do we base, where are the prices? What should we be looking at? Do we look at a price per square foot, or are we basing it on comparable properties in the neighborhood? That's how we typically price properties out here in Pittsburgh, is based on comparable sales in the same neighborhood, same school district, and in that surrounding community that you would be talking about in the on a small level there. And that is going to take into consideration number of bathrooms, number of bedrooms, the size of the rooms, the size of the lot, the location. Are you on a busy road? Are you not on a busy road? There's a number of things that you're going to go to into doing the comps. It's not just, hey, look at what a house sold on each side of the street. It has nothing to do with a Zestimate. What it has to do with is recent sales of houses that have closed in that area to give you a good number of where you base that price off of. Now, when you're talking about price per square foot and comps, it's really hard to make that decision, because you can have here in Pittsburgh, you can have a neighborhood, and this is why the Zestimate isn't a good, accurate thing to base your comps off of. You can have a very nice neighborhood surrounded by smaller, older neighborhoods, and those are going to throw off each of those comps. So you have to really be strategic when you're doing the comps to be able to, dial in that price and really look at the bedrooms and the bathrooms and the style of the house, because you can have your price per square foot could be outrageous because you put a $17,000 stove in your kitchen that the next buyer might not care about. So those are all things to consider. If you want to go deeper on any of these topics, I would love to have a conversation with you. My number is 412-965-6387. By now you should know that. Comment in the links or in the message below. Subscribe to this, like it, share it with a friend, and if you need any help navigating through this market, please reach out to somebody on the team, myself, anyone can help you, and we'll get you through, get your house sold, or find the perfect house that you want to buy. Look forward to talking to you next week. If you have any questions that you want to see on a future episode, put them in the link below or in the comments below, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.